Okay, everybody. So this session is why you'll have fewer tabs open with Nearpod, streamlining the tech toolkit. So I am Francis Amato Dominguez. That's my Twitter and Instagram handle. And I'm a tech coach, a tech model teacher, new teacher mentor. I'm also a doctoral candidate in the area of educational technology and design. So just some announcements before we start. Make sure you open another window, use the link shared or use the 5-letter code, whichever way you feel most comfortable. That way you could join in our lessons. And now I am a very fast talker. I go through things fast. So I love our notes feature. Open up the notes, save our lesson. So this way you have my lesson today and always. And if there are any questions, you could drop them in the chat. You could go into the Q&A for tech questions or some more pertinent information for Nearpod and support. And this is what we're going to learn together today, the many activities Nearpod has to offer. Now, I'm not going through everything because we don't have enough time, but some of my favorites, how these activities can be used in any classroom across content areas, and why Nearpod is an all-in-one versatile tool. So when we see these headlines, 30 digital collaboration tools for students, 4 digital tools, 75 tools, 101 hottest ed tech tools, 25 teaching tools, 20 digital tools, there are so many tools out there. So this goes to you. What ed tech tools have you tried or do you use? If you see a tool and you use it as well that somebody posts, write a comment under it. That way we can see all the different tools. Remember to like the comments of the tools you use. And try and check if somebody's named it before. So let's see some of the tools we use. Desmos, Flipgrid, Canva, Quizlet, Canvas, Clever, Wakelet, Quizzes, Nearpod. Yes, lots of love to Nearpod today. Nearpod's drag and drop, Kahoot, Jamboard, Kahoot, Quizzes, Clea, Pear Deck, Jamboard, Look It, Quizzes. Oh, wow, some really awesome sites. Formative Flip, Google Classroom, Legends of Learning, Kami, Flip, Flipgrid, Canvas, Clever, Kahoot. So I see you guys are very, very well versed in ed tech tools, and that's wonderful because that's going to make this session so much better. Brain Pop was, this is awesome, guys. I'm going to give you Book Creator. I love Book Creator, by the way. So I'm going to give 2 more seconds, and then we are going to go on to our next slide. So 3, 2, 1. Now remember, you will get this lesson later, so you could go back in and enter everything to your heart's desire. So did you know Nearpod has 14 content features, 15 activities, whiteboard, annotation, notes. All those tools you named, many of them are already a feature in Nearpod. So we have an all-in-one quick stop shop to your lessons. It's a multiple purpose in one tool. You can go from activities to videos, formative assessments, VR, gamification, simulations, you name it, Nearpod has it. And that's what makes it so wonderful. And you're able to combine that learning with that educational technology, whether you want collaboration, a connection to the real world, engage your students in real critical thinking, differentiation for students, checking for understanding and providing access and accessibility. So we're going to do a poll. There's a lot of reasons to do polls, a lot of ways to do polls. This just explains a few of the ways. Let's take it away. What is your experience with Nearpod? And now for those of you who know or don't know, you could show students names and answers. You could close them off. So we can see everybody's experience, and I'm going to try to cater to all levels because there's so many great things if you're new, and there's also so many things if you're not new, and if you're a pro, you could always learn something new. Okay, so we could share out our answers, and we could see we have a pretty good mix of all levels. So thank you all for joining. So now, this is one of my favorite ways to use a poll. How do you feel about this lesson? You could do this at the beginning. You could do this in the middle. You could do it at the end. You could check in with your students. And I'm a big believer of making sure my students know that their voices are heard. I need to know how they feel. I need to know what they're thinking. So this is a great way to just do that quick check. Hey, you see if you have people saying C and D for your students, you know, maybe I need to stop. Maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I need to reassess what I'm doing. So that's one of my favorite ways to use polls. Videos. Nearpod has over 10,000 interactive videos. Many schools, they don't allow YouTube. They don't have money to buy things like BrainPop or other video software. Not all teachers want to create their own content. Videos let you do so much and more. Share content, formative assessments, break up your larger topics. You could even throw in your own videos. So we're going to take a look at a video. And I'm going to do it as teacher plays. So, how much do you know about the sun? Great way to get some answers from your students, great way to check their prior knowledge. And simple, a lot, a little, not much. You go down, your students will answer, you could share out their answers, and you can also continue.
Francis, are you able to share the sound on the video?
Oh, it's not sharing it?
They're saying in the, yeah, we can see the video, but the sound is not.
Hold on a second. Give me 1 second to see if it didn't share right I apologize.
Times bigger than Earth. Because of its size, the sun creates a lot of gravity, which is how it keeps 8 planets in its orbit. The sun is mostly made of hydrogen. When atoms of hydrogen stick together, they create helium.
Okay, I apologize.
This reaction causes the sun to release energy and get very hot, over 5,000 degrees Celsius.
Okay, now we are at our next question, multiple choice. What is the temperature of the sun? Quick way to see if students are understanding what they just heard. And as I could see here, the majority of our class understands what they just heard. Somebody said warm. Well, yes, it's warm, but it's a lot more than warm, so we could go back and explain. One person said it was cold, so is it cold? We're gonna follow the rest of the video. And
light and heat from the sun travel 93 million miles through space to reach Earth. Plants use photosynthesis to turn sunlight into energy. Animals get energy by eating plants or other animals, so when you eat, you're getting energy from the sun too. The sun also gives us daytime and seasons. There are 24 hours in a day and 365 days in a year because of how Earth rotates and orbits the sun. The sun also affects the water cycle and weather patterns. Without the sun, life on Earth would not be possible. But too much sunlight can be dangerous. It's important to protect your eyes and skin by wearing sunglasses and sunscreen. What's an example of how the sun affects your daily life?
So what's an example of how it affects your daily life? Let me know. Now, a little bit more about this lesson. I pulled this straight from the Nearpod library. I added in only one question. So 2 of these questions were there. So most of these are pre-made. I like giving my students a multiple choice question also. So I always go in and add at least 1 multiple choice because I want to make sure that it reaches all of my students. Some of my students don't like typing out answers. Some of my students have issues with it. So you know your students and you really cater to them, and the videos really let you do that. Photosynthesis to grow, provides warmth to the planet. Hot weather warms the planet, shines on the planet, and gives me food to eat. So you could see in Florida, it's always hot. Yes. So you could really see what your students know and what they need to know. Under 2 minutes, you have a whole lesson that included assessment. Great thing about Nearpod videos. Now, VR field trips. Excellent resource. There are 544 full-fledged lessons in the Nearpod library and over 300,000 360 images to choose from. You can introduce your topics, go around the world, engage your students in learning in so many different ways. So what I love about these lessons is you can move it around. You can enter VR mode if you have VR goggles, and it works beautifully. It is seamless in the goggles. And so you can look, ask students what they see, what they notice, what they wonder, what they want to know. There is so much. You can move in and out. You could really go in and look at the details of a fish, and as much as each picture. Some of these pictures go up to 4K and 8K. Some of them are not. They're regular pictures, but you could really move it around and look at your environment and obtain a lot of answers. Now, these aren't the full-fledged lessons, but these are just some of the images. And this is another image, and this is Greece, where I wish I was right now because this is so beautiful. I'd love to be at the beach here. And you can really just see how nice, how clear the images are, how easy it is to access these 360 images. So I want to scroll more in and check out the nice view of the ocean, the little islands. You can do that. And it's super motivating to students to be able to touch and see what's going on. Matching pairs is another great way to get some formative assessment data, to see what students know. There's so many different ways to do it depending on your levels. I work with children with disabilities. A lot of times we're matching pictures to pictures, text to images, vocabulary and their definitions. There are about 1,000 ways to do it, and the Nearpod library has a ton of them saved for you already. So this is a math one. So go ahead and start working. So very, very simple. It'll tell me how many tries it took you. And this is just matching the number to the word. Simple, easy, can be done in your pre-K level, your first grade level. You could do this as a quick activity. This could be a little center-based activity. You could just pull out this one activity and use it all by itself and not even have it in a full lesson, which is one of the other beauties of Nearpod lessons. You don't need a 30-page lesson. You could have 1, 2, 3 slides and be done. So I see a lot of people got 10 out of 10. Thank you for joining it. We are going to move on in 3, 2, 1. And so now we are going to match each vocabulary word with its pictures. I just showed you the answers, but check out those vocabulary words, match them with the pictures. And now this is something I love to do with science. And I do a lot of STEAM and science when I am teaching, and I've been a coach though, but when I was teaching, I did a lot of science and STEAM instruction, and this was a great way to check, hey, do they know it? What do they know about it? Do they understand the definitions? Sometimes I might just give 2 or 3, sometimes I might give 6, sometimes I might give 10. You know your students best. And I see a majority of people are done here. So we are going to move on in 3, 2, 1. So the next thing we do is gamification of learning. When students are having fun and they're engaged, they are learning. So let's jump right into it. And this has also got a big improvement from Nearpod recently. And I want to be at the beach, so we are going to go to the beach. So everybody join in. I'll give it a few seconds. I see we have over 200, so I'll give it another minute. Let as many people get in as possible before we start the game. Give everybody a fair shot. Okay, so let's start our game, and it will still let you join in. So what instrument is used to predict the weather? And now again, this time to climb is not one that I made. It's right there in your Nearpod library. Something I commonly teach is the weather, especially with our younger grades. So I like to give 20 or 30 seconds. That way it gives students enough time to answer. Depending on what I'm doing with students, you don't need a time limit as well. And something Nearpod just implemented is you can pause in between. So now it's paused and I can talk to you and see who got it right, who got it wrong, what do we need to know, what do we still want to know, how can we correct some of those misunderstandings. Now here is our next question. What is an Mentimeter used for? And as a teacher, now I could see who's gotten them right, who's gotten them wrong, how many. I could see the points. And it'll pause each time. And when you want it to unpause, you just click go to the next question. So say most of your class got it right, you might not need to review that one. Next question, what is a rain gauge used for? Oh, great job, everyone. Seeing this one, we didn't need anywhere near the full time. Two more questions to go. I wonder who's going to win. We have question number 4 coming up. What is the difference between weather and climate? Once you select an answer, it locks you into that answer. Yes, that's exactly right. A lot of people have used Booklet and quizzes, Kahoot for this, but you don't have to. You could do it all within Nearpod, and that's the beauty of it. You don't have to worry about hopping place to place, opening a million tabs. You can put it all in one place at one time. And here comes question number 5. True or false, tropical climates located near the equator are always warm. Mimi, I won't be able to show you how to set this all up now, but I will share my information, and if you need some help, you could always send me a message. I'm always willing to help. Okay, so now we are going to see our winner. Congratulations! Catherine's on top, Taylor is second, and Beth is third. Congratulations. Let's go to our next time to climb. Now, time to climb can be used across many different content areas. It's not just ELA. So let's everybody get connected again, and this is our last time to climb for the day. And this one's going to be a little quicker pace because there's only 20 seconds to answer. And we are going to get started. Let's have fun at the carnival together. So this is math. What is the rule for this pattern? Yes, it is good to have a variety so they don't get bored, but you could use that variety on different days. You can change the amount of time also per question. So it's very, very useful. Okay. Yes, the scores are impacted by how fast somebody responds. They do have general lesson templates in the Nearpod library. I'm not sure why you got this error message. I am sorry. Okay, that might have been it. If I started the game, you might have gotten the error message, and I apologize. If you reload it, it should work for you. So if you refresh your screen, you should get in. And now for this one, as you can tell, I didn't put the pauses in between, because for the math one, I didn't want to discuss this with you. I don't know if we needed any real going over it. So based on your lessons, you could choose what works for you. If you want to pause in between answers, if you want to give them time, there is so much that you could really customize with the time to climb and make your learning fun. You have your formative assessment right here. What are the missing numbers? Yes, I agree. If people want to collaborate, definitely drop your Twitter handles in the chat, add each other. The more we build up our PLN, the better we are working together. And this is mine in case anybody's interested. I will go over it again later because I encourage you to reach out, chat, discuss. Nearpod brings us all together, and there is so much more we could do together. That's the beauty of educational technology. We don't have to work alone. And we have this amazing tool to help us. So I hope you are enjoying this game. And this is so simple, but yet so engaging for students. Anytime I have students and I'm doing a time to climb, they are cheering, they are hooting, they are hollering, and it's all appropriate because they're loving what they're learning. And even for my students who might not be the best learners in the class, might not know all the content, they're enjoying it. They're even happy to participate, even when they're getting it wrong, because they get something out of this. Gamifying learning is one of the best things that you can do in a classroom. So we have 5 seconds left, and we are going to see the winner. Okay, so thank you to our leaders for participating today. Matthew, Dina, and Angela Marie, congratulations. You are our winners for that one. One of my favorite, absolute favorite, newest features is drag and drop. Now, as I said earlier, I work with children with disabilities, so drag and drop, I don't need to jump in and bring in a Jamboard. I don't need to have 10 Jamboards open to do my lessons. I can do that all within Nearpod now. So this is our first drag and drop activity. Each shape has different characteristics or attributes. So a little bit of math. Drag your answers into the correct area. Look at the shapes and tell me the numbers of sides. It's 0, 3, or 4. So we're going to give a minute or so for this activity. Yes, you could share into the library as well. And especially if you have a school account, you could share with everybody in your school. If you have a district, when you share into the library, it shares to everybody in your district. Yes, it definitely works for high school. Well, slow internet connections are a little bit of an issue, and that generally is an organizational need that you have to bring up. That's not something, unfortunately, that I can help you with. Yes, I'm glad they add drag and drops. Only have the words to drag and drop, no board. Nearpod has a ton of pre-made drag and drops. But you can also put your own in. And I'm sorry that it doesn't seem that some people are having issues. I dropped my handle into the chat for the person who asked for my Twitter handle. And I'm sorry there is an issue, but we will try the next drag and drop and hopefully it comes up for everybody. So now this drag and drop is on body coverings of animals. So now I'm not sure why it's coming up. With the wrong one. I apologize. There seems to be a little error. I'm going to see if I restart my Nearpod, if this helps it, and I apologize, give me a second to reload it. I'm not sure if there's an issue. It's giving me a little issue on my end. I apologize greatly. Yeah, I guess maybe it's freezing up a little bit with Zoom. I'm still trying to reload it. If you can do the activity, do the activity. I am not only on Twitter, I do also have Instagram. Okay, so hopefully now it's right for everybody who is having issues. So add the parts of the plants. My Instagram handle is the same as my Twitter, just no underscore. So that is for Instagram. And I see it's going a little slow on my end, so I apologize if you were just following along with the presentation. Yeah, I know it's definitely a Zoom issue, but I feel terrible about it. I'm going to share my email and other ways to contact me at the end. So you will definitely have that towards the end. Okay, so hopefully now it gets a little bit better. We are going to go on to Draw It. Now, Draw It is an ample way to do so many different activities. You can create graphic organizers. You can app smash it with different things. You could bring in text passages. So for me, something I like to do is ELA passages. Our school has an account with Learning A to Z and Reading A to Z. So for students, if you want to know what they're understanding from a book, you could put that book into Nearpod. You could ask them to highlight nouns, highlight verbs, highlight a sentence, draw a picture based on it. So you can mix and match your lessons from offline to online. I'm glad you think it's amazing. There are so many things that you can do with Nearpod, and this is really just scratching the surface. So as you could see, I'm going to look at somebody's work and they are highlighting away. So you have this quick assessment. You can see if they know it, if they don't know it. You're able to see what your students are doing. And for the sake of time, since we had some issues, we are going, what's the name? The tech service, this is Reading A to Z. This is a book from there, if that's what you mean. So we are going to go, so submit your work, and we're going to go on in 3, 2, 1. So emoji exit ticket. This is something I like to do with my students. They get a kick out of it at the end of the lesson. And you could do this with the poll as well, but for my students, having it where they could draw on it really works. So tell me, how are you feeling so far about this lesson? I hope everybody's as excited as I am. And remember, always submit your work. And just, I know somebody said they were looking for something for high school. Newsella is something you could definitely app smash with Nearpod and use. Definitely get those articles from there, make them PDFs and use it. That's one of the things that come to mind for the high school level. Brain breaks. Now, this is a new feature in Nearpod, and I'm not sure if anybody's seen this, but if you haven't, it's wonderful. Great way to do SEL skills, great way to take a break, refocus, calm down, a movement break. So many different things that you could do. Now, brain breaks are a feature, and it comes into 21st century readiness program. So not everybody has it, and I do apologize. And I believe it does come with district if they if they get the Premier Plus. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it has it there too. So let's look at this 5-finger breathing exercise.
5-finger breathing.
Brain break is not for gold users. I apologize.
Hi there, Sonia here. Let's breathe.
But
Take
now,
one hand,
these
either
brain breaks
hand,
are awesome
and
because,
spread it out.
again,
and then we're going to use the other
they're
hand to trace
also
it
using
as we take
sign
deep,
language to
calming
communicate, which
breaths.
I find
Pinky
absolutely
first.
amazing, and we need
Follow
more of. And this
Breathe
nice
in.
little technique is great for all levels.
Breathe out.
You just use your hand and breathe in and
keep
out
going.
using your fingers
Breathe
as a
in.
base.
2, 3.
I think we all
Pause.
need a brain break after a
Breathe
long
out.
day.
2, 3. Pause.
So take
Breathe
a minute
in,
and breathe
2,
in, relax
3.
for a minute.
Pause. Breathe out. 2, 3. Pause. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. Pause. Breathe in.
If you have the
Pause.
21st century
Breathe
subscription,
out.
then you have it. I am not
Pause.
100% sure,
Nice.
to be honest.
Now give your
But if you
hand a
can't use
good
these brain
stretch.
breaks in Nearpod,
And let's do the
you
same
could
thing
get Go
on the other
Noodle,
hand.
and you could
Thumb
drop Go
first.
Noodle a link into web
Breathe
content
in,
and use a brain break
2,
that way too.
3.
And that's what I've
Pause.
been using for years
Breathe
with
out.
Nearpod,
2,
or they had brain
3.
breaks.
Pause. Breathe in, 2, 3. Pause.
Okay, so as you can see, those nice breathing exercises give your students some time to calm down and focus. But they don't only have breathing exercises, they also have movement exercises. So let's get moving.
Let's get moving. Hey there, Kira here. Let's get moving. Come on, march. Loosen up your legs, let your arms move around, roll your
So now if you
shoulders.
have
Let's stiffen
students
anything
sitting
that's
in their
feeling
chair
stiff.
all day,
Now we're gonna step it up
this is
to
a
a
great
jog.
way to get them to move,
Yes.
groove, and
And now some high knees.
regulating their body.
You got this. Use your core muscles to help lift those knees, lift them.
If you contact
Oh yeah, don't
Nearpod
forget to
customer
breathe. Breathing
support,
is
you can
extremely
definitely get a
necessary.
rep that'll give you a
Now we're gonna sit down in an invisible chair. Got it? Feel it? Good. You're gonna do some star reaches. Reach up and over to one side, sit in your invisible chair, and reach up and over to the other side. You are a star, yes. And now it's time for some pop squats. Touch the floor, jump up to standing legs together, jump back out and touch the floor. Make sure to land softly in that invisible chair. If jumping isn't your thing, stay low and walk your legs in and out.
So you can always contact Nearpod customer support in order to get some support on a district quote. So the difference between teacher play and student play, let me see if I could show it to you really fast. So if I go to student play, it's going to go to your devices and you get to play it. So each student will have control over the playing. So I could play it on my end, but it'll also be playing on all of students' devices, and it lets them go at their own pace. So if they need to stop for a second, so say you're doing an educational video and they're reading a book and they need to stop it because they need a second, they're able to stop it and continue when they're ready again. I don't know if I do it with the brain breaks, but you can do it in other areas. So now we are going to jump onto a collaborate board, and there are so many different ways to use collaborate board, and this is another new update that Nearpod has. Yes, it is great for an after lesson reward. So we are going to play a game together. Guess the animal. I want you, without naming the animal, to describe an animal and a few attributes, and everybody's going to comment and try to guess the animal. This is a fun way to get students playing and thinking and learning through play and imagination. So let's drop it in. And what do you think about it? Remember to stop and comment on another student's lesson. If you know it, click a heart, leave a comment. I agree, it is great to watch it. So one of my favorite animals I just dropped in. And I see also somebody added one in the chat, to climb trees and dogs like to bark at me. That's another one of my favorite animals. And so you can see that this is fun. People are answering, you're going back and forth. Not everybody has the same answer also. So you're really able to go into this a lot more deeper. You're able to guess, you're able to use your judgment, and then you could expand. You know, one word is really hard to guess. Maybe we should try for 2 words or 3 words, and you can let students edit their answers too. I don't think I have it on here, but you can also edit which is another new feature of Nearpod. Students can now edit. It's not just you drop it and you're done. So we are going to move on in 3, 2, 1. And here is our next collaborate board, KWL Charts. One of my favorite things to do. And now something I want to show you on the bottom. When you do a KWL chart, you have to click so you can put it into the right area. So this little video is about the Earth. So I'm going to play about 30 seconds of it so you can see how the video works. But this is a longer video.
Where are we going, Moby? I don't think our shuttle will make it to space. It's okay, Moby. We can still learn about Earth without visiting outer space. Where is the Earth exactly? Our solar system is made up of the sun and all the planets, moons, and other bodies that go around it. Earth is the third planet from the sun. Right, Moby.
So now I love Brain Pop, so I use it often. So the Earth, what do we know? I live on this planet. It's a sphere. It's round. Nothing. Okay, that's okay. The Earth goes around the sun, tilted axis, rotates. What do you want to know? The temperature at the center. How old is the Earth? How big is it? So these are a great way to really work together and have it a KWL chart without needing that piece of paper that's going to get lost. To respond under each column, if you look to the left of where you say share your thoughts, you'll be able to click KWRL. And Nearpod does not have Brain Pop licensing, but I love Brain Pop and I like to add it in and app smash it in. And you can do that if you could find it on YouTube or find a video you like. It's all about bringing tools together. Creating the column piece is within the lesson. So that's not something I'm going to go over now. But like I said, tweet at me, find me. No problem showing you how to do it another time. So thank you all for answering, and we are going to move on. So web content, and this is what I was speaking about before. Just because Nearpod doesn't have it, doesn't mean you need to open more tabs. You can put everything together all in one. Hello, Yubis, thank you for joining. So now we're going to see how we add in. So for me, I love Boom Learning and Boom Cards. Not a part of Nearpod, I wish it was, but I can go into this lesson and now, so everybody was able to access it. I put in a fast pin, but I could assign this to my students and they could go into their accounts and complete the work. So just so you could see how it looks. Yes, I love Boom Cards as well. So we're going to start this lesson. Let's count the watermelon seeds. And it'll give students a positive little ding if they're right. And if they're wrong, it says whoops, and it has them try again. Joe, welcome. You could always catch it in the replay as well. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to stop here with the Boom Cards, and we're going to go back to our lesson. So this is another way to bring in the content that Nearpod might not have that you might need. We all have curriculums. We all have different things we work on and we want to bring in. This versatile tool can do it all. So now this is one of my favorite things to do. I love, love, love Mentimeter. Enter words. I want 3 words to describe your learning with me here today. I brought in Boom Cards by taking a deck from Boom Learning. I made a fast pin, and that fast pin allowed me to add in a link to the lesson. If we have some time at the end, I'll show you how to do it. So let's enter some words. So I am excited. I am happy. And I am learning. And so let's see if it starts to populate. Oh, wow, look at this great word cloud we're getting. Fast, fun, excited, informative, interactive, engaging. I love this. Keep adding to it. So now Mentimeter has a lot of different features. It's free. And you are able to make word clouds. You're able to vote. You're able to do a lot of different things. If you'd love to learn how to do it, like I said, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. You'll see that information later. It requires a few extra tabs, but I don't have 20 tabs open. If I was going through everything with every different ed tech tool, I would have 20 tabs open. I really needed to open 2 so far for my lesson. 1 to vote on the Mentimeter, 1 as a teacher, I had the Mentimeter open, and for the Boom Learning. So we're going to refresh it one more time, and let's see if anything new popped up. I'm so happy you guys are enjoying this because I really am too. Yes, you could always have another monitor. You just have the you just insert the Mentimeter link. So the same link you would share with your students, you just enter it into Nearpod under web content. So connect into Nearpod. Why do we add these unique tools to our lesson? It streamlines access for students to connect with other tools directly inside of your Nearpod lesson. It limits the opportunities for students to become distracted by another tab. It adds variety to the tools without overwhelming students with multiple platforms to learn to go to. It's like a single sign-on. You have Nearpod and it's all here. It's all where it needs to be for your students, for them to learn. Would definitely give that feedback to Nearpod. Actually going to take a picture of your little message there to me. That way I can make sure to send it on to them so I don't forget, because I take pictures of everything. See how to keep the lessons fast paced. Okay, so we are going to share some more. Oh, I'm so glad you used my lesson and my work. Oh, I love it. I love hearing that. So let's share together one more time. What tools or activities are you planning to try now? So let me know what you plan on trying, what you plan on want to bring into Nearpod, how you want to make your Nearpods better, what you plan on doing in the upcoming year. Miss Grady, that's more of a legal question and a gray area to answer. So I bring stuff in that my school, like from reading A to Z, we purchase a subscription to download the books and to use the books with our students. I make it digital. So I'm still covered in using it, but everything is going to be different. That's a very different type of legal question. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact answer for that. But you know, you do what works for you. There is tons of free content. Tons. So I'm going to look at some of these answers. Matching, drag and drop, boom cards, brain breaks. Yes, those brain breaks are amazing. Time to climb, matching, more VR and writing. I like the VR for writing. It's definitely a great way to get students writing. You love it all, the Mentimeter, the drag and drop, everything. Oh, I'm so glad. There is so much to do in so little time, and I tried to pack as much as possible in this session to show you the variety, but there's so much more. There is more and more, and I'm hoping that you see more of it at your upcoming session. I'm glad Mentimeter was a new thing for somebody. Time to climb, drag and drop, VR field trips, videos, matching, draw it. Boom cards, yes, boom, all of it. Everything is great to use. And again, if you didn't save the lesson and you didn't go into notes earlier, go into notes now and save this so you have it with you so you could go back and reference this. You could see it again. If you missed part of my session, it's going to be available for you until I believe it's August 10th. So you could always rewatch the session to see something you missed. You could always go back into the lesson because this lesson is going to go into a student-paced lesson at the end. So you will be able to go back in and look at it again. And like I said, I have no problem helping out people. I love to connect, especially Twitter, I'm on the most. But I love to connect. I'm on Instagram too a lot, but I love to connect. I have no problem helping you. Most of us here that are Nearpod pioneers or the people who work with Nearpod, it's an amazing thing because there's so much that you can do and we work together.